Figuring out the new COVID-19 grading system can be confusing. We're here to help. Hi, Tar Heels. I'm Nick Perlin, coming to you from Baltimore, Maryland.
And I'm Amy Cockerman, Mount Airy. Lots of Tar Heels are looking to study abroad in the fall. Could coronavirus force students to change their plans? Those stories, plus our Tik Tok Tuesday in this edition of Carolina Now.
The coronavirus continues to spread across North Carolina. The virus has spread to 92 counties in North Carolina. There are 4,816 confirmed cases, and 313 people are currently hospitalized, and 86 have died. Starting April 13th, new social distancing policies will go into effect for stores in North Carolina. Some policies include limiting the number of customers inside, and routine disinfectant stores are encouraged to supply PPE for their employees.
Class registration continues this week. If you have general questions about enrollment, Academic Advising is holding drop-in hours through a live online chat. That's available 8:30 a.m. to 4:30 Monday through Friday. You can also make a virtual appointment through Academic Advising or your professional school if you have more specific questions about your schedule. Undergraduate registration appointments end on Friday.
Study abroad trips for the spring and summer semesters have been canceled due to COVID-19. Many students studying abroad in the fall worry that their trips may also be canceled due to coronavirus concerns.
Many students were preparing to study abroad this summer, but when the outbreak of the coronavirus swept panic throughout the world, summer study abroad trips were in jeopardy. On March 12th, it was confirmed that students were not going to be able to participate in their summer study abroad programs. The news was crushing to many UNC students. One UNC student was unable to go to Tokyo for the 2020 Summer Olympics.
And I was actually sitting on the beach when I checked my phone. I saw the email from the study abroad office. And right when I saw the email, my heart just sunk because at that point I kind of knew what was coming. And then I read the email and I was pretty heartbroken, not gonna lie.
Trench was very excited at the opportunity to go to the Olympics. Due to his love for sports journalism, Tokyo was the dream scenario for him to be in.
I've been dreaming about doing study abroad and dreaming about the opportunity to go to Tokyo for the Olympics for a really long time. And so it hurt a lot, especially at the moment. Everything else was starting to close down. You can kind of tell life was beginning to change a lot. And I was really disappointed, really sad about it for sure.
Students who have abroad trips planned in the fall are also fearful that they will not be able to go on their trips. One student notes how not going abroad will complicate things for her in the fall.
I don't have a house. I don't have a lease. So if I don't go abroad, I'm going to have to take classes at UNC, but I don't live near UNC.
Horner has yet to register for classes for the fall because she feels that by doing so, she's accepting that her trip will be canceled.
I really want to go abroad, and I feel like if I register for classes now, then it's kind of like me saying, oh, well, probably not going to go abroad, and it just makes me sad.
Study abroad trips being canceled are difficult for students, but many are hoping that their trips will still happen despite COVID-19. For Carolina Now, I'm Nick Perlin.
COVID-19 is changing UNC's grading system for the spring 2020 semester. The opportunity to pass-fail has been extended, and now students can receive a CV instead of an incomplete. Katie Clark sat down with UNC professor Dr. Francesca Carpenter to find out more.
Do courses that are declared a pass-fail still count towards a GPA?
A's, B's, C's, or D's would be considered a pass under the pass-fail system. And so then the way that would work would be that course, it's registered as a pass in their record, but it doesn't count toward their GPA. That pass doesn't count toward your GPA, but it doesn't count against it either. It's like you never took the course. You get the credit, so you don't have to retake it. And you can, if it's a prerequisite, you can still move on to the next course that was a prerequisite for.
What is the CV option that is available to students this semester?
The CV option is a special designation that a student can have on their transcript where it indicates that they weren't able to complete the work. So it isn't incomplete, but that special designation notes that it was because of disruptions due to the coronavirus pandemic. If you are a graduating senior, having any work that's incomplete, anything that's not a final grade, is problematic because it means that you still have something outstanding.
UNC Global Gap Year Fellows around the world had their experiences cut short due to the coronavirus. Julian Berger has the story.
Global Gap Year is a competitive program by the UNC Campus Y, which allows incoming students to take a gap year abroad and volunteer. One fellow, Simone McFarlane, was in Colombia as part of her gap year.
I was working in a school that was majority Afro-Colombians or people of indigenous descent, and I was teaching English or assisting in English classes. And I was also taking classes on Afro-Colombian history within the school, which was fun.
But this year's fellows around the world had their experiences disrupted due to the coronavirus. David Alejandro Gonzalez Chavez saw precautions firsthand while he was staying in Northern Ireland.
But as it progressed more and more, I realized all the travel plans I had set up were starting to fall through, or they were going to fall through. And then it really picked up pace a week before I left.
Most fellows grabbed their passports and packed their bags to come back home with no plans to return. The Campus Y did send an email stating what measures to take when returning home from each country, but it was still unclear to many fellows what exactly to do.
I left more because it was it just didn't make sense to stay anymore because of the circumstances, and I'd be stuck if I didn't leave. So I was I should go because I didn't want to be stuck in the country. I wanted to at least have the choice.
Fellows like Sadie, who was at Croatia at the time, are wanting to go back to their host countries in the future.
As long as Corona doesn't ruin all of these plans, I'm planning on working to build back up some money to go back to Split in particular. I have some great connections there. I made some lifelong friends.
The Global Gap Year Fellows will begin their education at the university starting fall semester. Reporting from Charlotte, North Carolina, I'm Julian Berger.
Coronavirus is impacting the UNC theater community. Playmakers Repertory Company canceled the rest of their shows due to the virus. Student theater groups have also had to cancel the rest of their performances. Company Carolina canceled both their spring play and musical because of the virus.
People involved in theater can maybe recognize the importance of social distancing. Or maybe it's had more just because their job is to perform, and you can't do that if you can't gather.
UNC junior forward Brandon Huffman will enter the transfer portal with 1 year of eligibility left. Huffman came to UNC from Word of God in Raleigh. During his time at UNC, Huffman struggled to find himself in the rotation. This past season, he only appeared in 14 games. With this transfer, the team will be eligible to fill an additional scholarship position for the next season.
Hey, Tar Heels, I'm Grace Wilson in Charlotte. It's Tuesday, and that means it's time to check out some of the trends on TikTok. This week, we are celebrating frontline healthcare workers.
Baby, come give me something, oh. Baby, come give me something, oh. 'Cause I can't stop loving.
9, LBs ain't go na na na, go na na na, go na na, go na na, go na na, remix.
It's your song, but
That's it for this week's TikTok Tuesday. I'll have more fun TikToks for you next week. Back to you.
Thanks, Grace. That does it for this edition of Carolina Now.
Be sure to follow us on other social media platforms, and if you see something you'd like us to cover, be sure to tag us.